So now what we want to talk about is negative keywords and negative product target. You can use these in two main buckets, and one is for performance improvements. So really weeding out those poor performers from your campaigns. And the other one is for isolating keywords into specific campaigns or specific ad groups. So we can hit on both of those as we go. But before we do that, we'll just go into a very quick overview on what negative keywords and product targets are and what controls we have. So overall on the keyword side, we have two different match types for negative keywords, and they're negative phrase and negative exact. So a negative phrase, so say if I type in winter gloves as my negative phrase, if somebody searches for warm winter gloves, it's going to negate that phrase. So with the phrase match, it's just like on the positive keyword side or on the typical phrase match side. It's going to take whatever you have typed in. You can add different terms around that, and that's going to apply for your negative phrase keyword. And then for negative exact, that operates just like an exact keyword. So if I type in warm gloves as my negative exact, or if I type in winter gloves, we'll keep it consistent with the previous example. Then if somebody types in warm winter gloves, that search term will still be shown because it's not the negative exact that we had specified. So that's the difference between negative phrase and negative exact, and Matt can dig into when we use each type as we go. The other control that we have is negative product targets. So this was an exciting addition that we had to the Amazon advertising platform. So back in the day when I started as a seller, really we just had negative keywords in auto campaigns. And the key limitation that we'd run into is when starting auto campaigns, they target both keywords and product targets, but you couldn't set negative ASINs. So if Amazon decided that they saw a product target as being relevant, but it definitely wasn't relevant, in auto campaigns, we really didn't have any control. But that changed when negative product targets was launched. And so now what we can do is, along with specifying negative keywords, we can specify ASINs that we don't want to advertise for. So these are really powerful, especially on the auto side, but also when using category targeting for product targeting campaigns. So one note is that there is no negative broad keyword match type. And so all we have is phrase and exact at our disposal on the keyword side. And then one other note too is we can specify negatives at either the campaign level or the ad group level. Personally, we love to stick to the ad group level just to make sure that all the moves that we're making are relevant specifically to that ad. There's certain instances where category level would make sense, but we always prefer keeping everything a bit closer and always specifying negatives in the ad group level. And since we're consistent with that, we always know where to look for negatives that we've entered into. We don't have to go to the two different spots. We can just stick to the one. So probably a keyword of advice when you're setting negatives, I would just be consistent in how you approach it. Personally, we recommend just sticking at the ad group level and not entering campaign level negatives.